Hi, let me date this. It's November 2nd, 2017. I'm here in Southern California in Los Angeles County, City of the Angels. And earlier, it's about 8 a.m. right now, but earlier at 5 a.m., I turned on Fox News at the top of the hour. And they were talking about the terrorist, very interesting, his background, and how they were trying to locate one of his friends. They're very interested in one of his friends. Uh, And quickly I turned to CNN and MSNBC, and all they were doing was trashing President Trump as usual, like they usually do every single day and night. Sure, they weren't talking that much about the terrorists. They were talking about how President Trump thought maybe he should go to Gitmo. Things like this. Unimportant things, instead of talking the story about this terrorist that came to this country to kill American people. Okay. And unfortunately, I killed, a bunch of foreigners. Unfortunately, that he killed anybody at all. But I'm sick of this. President Trump, if you're listening, which I doubt that you will. So, people, it's not just fake news, it's hate news. And I see it every day. I talk to people and they say, I can't stand watching CNN or MSNBC anymore. It makes them so angry and upset, but I watch it. Keep your friends close, but your enemies closer. I want to know what they're doing in the enemy's camp. And Joe Scarborough and Mika and Chris Como, all those in Chris Matthews, Chris Hayes, all those on MSNBC and CNN. Whatever man sows, that shall he reap. Just imagine if God Almighty himself decided that Donald Trump should become president of the United States, that his champion, even with its faults. After all, Peter did deny Jesus 3 times, didn't he? After all, Moses committed murder and hid the body for another Egyptian and had to flee in the desert for 40 years, didn't he? King David slept with one of his soldiers' wives, had a baby, or got her pregnant, and then had the soldier killed in the front lines of the battle. So President Trump, so he talked a bunch of guy talk that they, many years ago, that they precisely let out like a week and a half before elections because they thought that would destroy him. I thought he was done for, but somehow he wasn't, was he? And one thing they know, he's not bought off. He has a lot of money. He doesn't need it. And that's one thing they say. He's not a bought off official. So why? Why the hate? Why do they come against him? President Trump called it out during the Las Vegas massacre when he said this is evil, pure evil. What do you think's going on, people? Do you think this is politics as usual? Have you ever seen an election like this? Have you ever seen people treat a president so disrespectful? The hate that they have for him? Have you ever seen it this way? The people on The View and other left-wing liberal media programs that trash him? Who was that movie star that said, I want to punch him in the face? But he said such words. He's a pig. He's a dog. You're calling the President of the United States that? Who are you? So have you ever seen this much hate? No, never. Why? President Trump called it out. And I call it out now. It's evil. It's a battle between good and evil. The battle against the righteous and the unrighteous. Is President Trump righteous? No. No. But I believe the Lord picked him to become president. Nobody after saying those things on an open mic a week and a half before election could become president. I thought he was done for. But yet he became president. Because with God, all things are possible. I bet you he wasn't even shocked. And evidently God did not want Hillary to become president, did he? I realized not just I was the only one praying for President Trump, but many. And this is hate news, brothers and sisters. And when are we going to stand and do something about it? Why do we just sit here and do nothing? Why don't we protest? Why don't we hold rallies? Why don't we hold support groups? Why don't we say we're standing with the president and we're going to honor him and believe in him and pray that he does not become corrupt like previous presidents and the politicians are in there now? Because not just in left-wing media, we knew that the left-wing media was going to come at him, but even the conservative Republican senators that come against him, Miss Collins, and you, hero John McCain, going on The View into the enemy's camp. I watched that whole show, and most of it was all John McCain. And how he told Whoopi and the rest of The View, I want to thank you for your honesty and treating people with respect. Are you frickin' serious, Senator John McCain? You may have been a hero in the Vietnam War, but you're a traitor to this nation now. You were in the military, and you know, whether you like it or not, that President Trump is your commander-in-chief. And yet you trashed him on The View. Oh, we won't mention any names, you joked, and so did Whoopi joked. But you trashed him. But your daughter didn't. Oh, and another thing, too. When asked about your daughter, how do you feel about your daughter, John McCain? You smiled and said, I quote, she's a pain in the ass. Your daughter had a weird look on your face. Because I tell you, brothers and sisters, if I had a chance to talk to millions on TV to tell them about my daughters, I would tell them they're the best thing that ever happened to me. And we have a relationship like best friends, and I love them so much. I would not call them a pain in the ass. You're getting old, John McCain. You need to leave. Mitch McConnell, pretty boy Paul Ryan, all the good old boys got to leave. Whether you're a Democrat or Republicans, the good old boys got to leave. They've done nothing for this nation. And so, what's her, Senator Wilson? Is that who she is? The African-American lady with the hat? I mean, they criticized Donald Trump with his hair and his orange and is it fake? I mean, he used to have people come up before the election, pull on it. It's really real, okay? Why isn't it somebody saying about this lady and her stupid hats? It's stupid. Are you hearing me, Miss Wilson? You're stupid in those hats, okay? Jesus, somebody say something. So it's not just fake news, it's hate news. And when are we going to stand and fight? Okay? When are we going to get on those people like Whoopi Goldberg and The View? I mean, she's so full of hate. And these comedians, oh my God, since when does Jimmy Kimmel, an expert on politics and world events? Remember, Jimmy, you were on The Man Show. You know, you womanized lady on The Men's Show. I mean, you were disgusting. You were a womanizer. And yet you have, you could speak because you're a comedian on TV and you speak so crazy and so unjustly about President Trump. Who are you? Who did you sleep with to get the job? No, Jimmy Kimmel and the rest of you. Stick to your comedy. You know what? Don't stick to your comedy. Just leave. Leave the air. I'm surprised NBC even still has you on. Just leave. View, all of you, Joy, Whoopi, leave. Why don't they call it the Meghan McCain Show and keep her? She's awesome. I love her so much. And if Donald Trump is the president's champion, if he did just pick him to become president of the United States, which I believe he did, okay, then I've got a word for you from the Lord. In Psalms chapter 7, verse 10, my defense is of God, which saith the upright in heart. God judges the righteous, and God is angry with the wicked every day. If ye turn not, mind you, Joe Scarborough, Mika, okay, Chris Como, If he turn not, he will whet his sword. He hath bent his bow and made it ready. He hath also prepared for him the instruments of death. He ordained his arrows against the persecutors. Doesn't it sound familiar? Behold, he travaileth with iniquity, and hath conceived mischief, and brought forth falsehoods. Haven't they brought forth falsehoods against our president? He made a pit and digged it, and is fallen into the ditch which he made. His mischief shall return upon his own head, and his violent dealing shall come down on his own head. Read it for yourselves. That's for all the wicked who judge the righteous. Is President Trump righteous? I don't know him. But I know God judges the heart, the sincerity of the heart. And in his speeches, he does mention God and God Almighty all the time. I believe and he also says, hey, let us bring Merry Christmas back into Christmas. I think if I was Jesus and God, I would say that's the man for me. So careful. Because the word also says, Jesus said himself, if any of you shall offend one of these little ones that believe in me, it'd be better for you to put a millstone around your neck or for you to cast yourself into the sea. You might as well do it, Joe, Mika, Chris Como. What do they call them? Libitards now? Yeah. Game over. Jesus wins. You lose. And we're going to stand and fight. God bless you. And God bless the United States of America. And let's stand and fight. No more BS. We're taking this nation back. We're taking our schools back, our colleges back, our young people back, our Congress back. We're taking the White House back. For thy kingdom come, thy will be done, O Lord. So we finally got a Christian president. No, maybe he's not the best Christian, but he's a real one. God bless you.